I solemnly swear to give you the full truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me, Jeffree. Hello, friendos. I am super excited to make today's video. I'm actually more excited to be recording this than I probably am about this Pink Religion palette. So this is the latest palette to come out from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and it is very, very pink. And I normally don't prattle, but today I'm going to, just so we can all get some context on how I might feel about this palette. Let me put it down so I can stop making a bunch of obnoxious noise. So prior to me being born, when I was in my mom's womb, or I don't know, in the egg crate before the aliens brought me down, my parents thought that I was going to be a boy. There was like some sort of mishap at the hospital, and in a bizarre set of circumstances, it ended up with them thinking that I was going to be a male. So my room when I was little was blue. It was decorated with like teddy bears and that kind of thing. And I didn't get into like makeup or girly stuff till I was like 13. And for the most part, I played with boys as a child. Like I was into Ninja Turtles and into Power Rangers and that kind of thing, like not into Barbies and all that kind of stuff. And I remember this girl invited me to her house, and I went in her room, and that room was like pink everything. And it made me feel uneasy, and to this day I still feel kind of uneasy when everything is just like pink, pink, baby pink. I don't know. I just feel like I need to like run out of there real quick. I don't know. I don't know. But this is from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and I have started to do YouTube. So I figured if I'm doing YouTube, I probably should review this. Like I have so many other of Jeffree's products. Might as well check it out. So I ordered from Beautylish. In case you don't know, if you order from Beautylish, you will most likely get your products much, much sooner than if you go through Jeffree Star Cosmetics on launch day. Like it just seems like it takes them like 2 or 3 weeks to send. All right, I'll try to not get so excited that I just knock my phone out of its tripod while recording. If you order from Beautylish, you are likely to get your package to you much, much quicker than if you go through Jeffree Star Cosmetics if it's a launch day release. With Jeffree Star Cosmetics, when you finally do get your package, it's a much more like luxurious and special experience because you have the official JSC packaging, the very nice designed wrapping paper, and it's its own experience. But I really wanted to get this video up quickly and let you guys know my thoughts on the palette. So looping back around, I did watch a couple of reviews so far on this palette, and the ones that I watched kind of read like an HSN commercial. Like the person is just so ecstatic and they think that the entire collection is just a gift from God. I mean, it is Pink Religion, but I mean, let's be real. This is from Jeffree. It's not from God. Yeah, it was just over the top. Like everything was fantastic. With me, like I like to keep things realistic. I don't think that this palette is going to be one of my favorites. However, maybe I'll try it out and I'll change my mind. But yeah, I'm just not going to sell the palette probably as well as what other people would. That's not my intention. It's not my thing. I just like to give my thoughts and just keep it real. Okay, so let's get started. So, unwrapping this. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so check it out.
Looks like a Bible.
Yeah, this is your first time seeing it, right? It does look like a Bible. It's supposed to. He even called it a Bible in the video. I watched the reveal video. I do like pinks. I know I said before that I don't, but genuinely my type of pink is going to be like my hair, like sort of corally type pinks, like light pinks, but like hot pinks and magentas. They're not my favorite eyeshadow type. Not to say that not to say that I never would use hot pinks or magenta on my eyes, but I probably, if I wasn't doing YouTube, I probably wouldn't purchase a palette that's full of hot pinks and magentas. So I'm going to let you see what it looks like on the inside. Yeah, she's pretty. It's not as hot, overwhelming pink like it looked in the reveal video of Jeffree's. Like in person, it just looks different. I mean, there's still a lot of hot pink and magenta, but we do have some like nice little Laurel friendly shades up here. Like this one, this one, this one, this one. Yeah, these all the way till we get about right here. And then this right here, I kind of feel like, don't I already have that in the blood sugar palette? Let me look. All right, so took a step back. See these dark shades down here? Like they kind of remind me of the dark shades down here. See that? So I said hot pink is not my favorite, but I know a lot of people are excited about this palette. Like a lot of girls love, love, love the pink aesthetic and everything. So I still want to dive into the palette and do a look. I'm going to try to use a good amount of the shade so we can get a good feel for the formulation. And I'm really curious, is it going to be a wonder like Miss Blood Sugar, or will it be a total flop like the mini orgy? We'll see in just a moment. And friendos, if you have some nice expensive white brushes, know that Jeffree Star eyeshadows, well, they're actually pressed pigments, and that's why they tend to stain any sort of white anything that you have. So that includes your eyelids. That's one of the reasons why it's called a pressed pigment and not an eyeshadow. In the US, it's illegal to call anything that could stain your eyelid an eyeshadow. You have to call it a pressed pigment. It's different, I believe, in the EU and in other countries, but here we have to call it a pressed pigment. Hey. So to protect my eyelids, I always go in with, boom, the P. Louise base. And if you are looking for an eyeshadow primer that has a very rich opacity to it that will just cover up any vein, any stain, and protect your eyelids from getting stained from like ultra pigmented shadows, this is a good choice. Absolutely. I wish that more stores in the US offered more of the P. Louise collection. I know Morphe has like a small collection of her bases, but she has really nice makeup of the things that I have tried. I mentioned before, I really, really like her lip liner formula. All right, it's down. Let's make the magic happen. I bought a bag of Units brushes. This is from Beautylish. I believe this was the 200 edition. I bought these especially for this occasion because these are black tip brushes and I didn't want to stain up my Refers any more than they're already stained, or my Natasha Denona's, because they're all like white at the ends. So came in this nice little case. And they're just basic brushes. I think I paid $30 for these. Looks like it got crushed a little bit. Like you see that little fray on the side.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's a little wonky.
The rest look really nice though. There's a little bit of a stick up on that one. But overall, I'm sure they're going to be nice brushes. So we'll give them a go. So I'm going to go in with the shade that I think I like the most out of the palette. It's the Lollipop Luxury on the Unit 2 on the Unit 205 brush. I don't have enough room. I don't like how bulky this packaging is. Probably would help if I cleaned up my desk. Okay. Oh, baby. She is pigmented. Probably could have went in a little bit lighter. But you live and you learn. Just taking my time blending that one out. This is all one dip too, mind you. One dip into this thing. So yeah, I moved my mirror to the center here. Still going in on one dip. Still blending that out. This is a next level. Okay. Going in again. So I'm slightly disappointed that it's not really the same shade as what it appears to be in the pan. I'm going to show it again. So this was the one I was dipping into. It's definitely more corally looking in the pan than on my face. So we're going to keep rolling. I think next I'll dip into Vatican Vanity and see how that one goes, because that's the most purple shade. And I'm sure you guys know, if you are makeup aficionados, that purples are the most hard color to formulate. So a lot of times, even if a brand is good overall, their purples will be crap. So let's see. Going in with my Unit 201. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Are you guys seeing this? Polywog. This purple is fantastic. Like legit. What on earth? One dip in. Not patchy at all, just smooth as butter. I just can't believe this. I don't know why I was expecting it to be bad, you know, like most purples are bad. This one's really good. Alright, gonna do the sides here just to get some depth going. Guys, I was waiting around all day for this palette to come in. It was supposed to be here at 5 on the dot, and it was not here. It was one of those all dressed up and no place to glow situations. So far, you know, the pinks aren't really winning me over, but it's the purple that is. How ironic. All right, next, to deepen this up even more, I'm going to go in with my Sigma E36, and just to add more dimension, not really to deepen it up, but to add more dimension, I'm going in with the shade Handbag Queen here on the end. Handbag Queen. All right, so far this is looking so vibrant and pretty. I think so. I think it matches my background. All right. I'm gonna clean up my edges a little bit with the Ayoooo Cosmetics brush in Stunning Eyeshadow. Next, I'm going in with my piece of crap that always seems to work in these situations. I say we go in with Strawberry Youth, and I'm gonna go in on this side. And this is gonna be more about just placing the product where I want it, which is on the outer edge of my eye. Not quite reaching the outer perimeter. And I'd say this one looks very true to what it does in the pan. I'm placing the bulk of the shadow, like I said, toward the outer edge of my eyelid, and then I'm smoothly blending it in to the middle part of my eyelid. And this one is pigmented, don't get me wrong, but it's not as strong as a pigment as all the other shades that I've tried so far. Guys, I have no idea what this brush is. It's very old, and I'm pretty sure it came from the drugstore. But I'm dipping into the shade. Sugar Savior. And that's going to be the main shade in the center part of my eyelid. I feel like Sugar Savior looks very, very close to Strawberry Youth. That's interesting because I want to show you guys the difference. So Sugar Savior, Strawberry Youth. You see? All right, next on my Sigma E15, I'm going to apply some shades to the lower lid. I'm going to go in with Saint Star. And I feel like you have to be careful with pink eyeshadows because if you don't line or, I don't know, just in certain circumstances, it looks like you're sickly. Especially like when you have blue-eyed and you're fair. Yeah. So at the end here, I'm probably going in with some eyeliner just to sort of tweak things. This is another one that I feel like it looks darker in the pan. I mean, it looks darker on my skin than in the pan. Then I'm going in with another old brush, probably from the drugstore. Don't know what it is. It's old. It's very, very old. Older than your grandma. Right. Going in with Fashion Faith, the other purple shade. And I'm just going to connect. This one definitely looks very magenta. So I'm going in with Princess Crown, shade in the top corner. So I do think that this shade is super pretty. Is it a standout? Probably not. I'm just gonna swatch it on my hand. I don't know. I kind of want to use this with other looks where I don't have so much makeup on underneath it. Let's see if it might be a little bit more special. A little bit more of a standout shade then. But right now, what it reminds me of is a shade that used to be, I believe, in the ABH. It was either the Prism palette. It was the Prism palette. It's a shade, it looks white in the pan, and then you put it on your eyes, and it's got like a nice like pink shimmer to it. That's what this reminds me of. I will say though, this is the nicer formulation of this shade for sure, because the one in the ABH palette was very crumbly and I would have to kind of tweak it to get it to work. And this right here, what I have on, I have not wet my brush at all. I have not sprayed it with anything. This is just brush to face. Then again, in that same Natasha Denona number 11, I'm going to go in with Frosting Cult and bring that over just a tad bit more. Ooh, she pink. It's all pink. What? Now it looks lavender. What is going on here? Actually, I'll put Candy Cathedral on the center of my lower lid. All right, going in with my LR105 short shadow brush. This reminds me a lot of one of the shades in the Jawbreaker palette, the really hot pink looking shade in there, but this one is slightly lighter. And I want to say it's not quite as sparkly. Just picked up my NYX brush, and I'm going to use one of the shades for my blush shade today because I'm not wearing blush yet and I feel kind of naked without my blush. I'm probably going to go in with Sugar Savior and very lightly and just kind of build it up. I'm a little nervous because you guys saw before, all these shades are so incredibly pigmented. One tap. It's looking pretty. Gonna go in a little bit heavier because you guys know I like that pretty pink, rosy doll face look. All right, now lastly, I'm going to do my final touches by applying some eyeliner and some mascara, and I'll be back to give my final thoughts. All right, friendos, I'm now ready to give my final thoughts on this, the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Pink Religion palette. So let me start out by saying, this palette is sacrilege, and if you use it, you will need to have a priest come to your house to get rid of them evil spirits. Only the devil himself could have made these shadows so pigmented. But in my honest opinion, I think this is a very good palette. Is it my favorite? No, and that's just because of the color story. I've said it 100 times. I'm not going to say it again. And the pinks. I said I wasn't going to say it. Y'all know. So, what I do like about this palette and why I think it is a good addition even to my collection, with me not loving pinks as much as most girls, for sure this guy right here. The purple shade in this palette is by far the absolute best purple shade I own. Very happy to have that in my collection. It's very similar to the shade right here in the Natasha Denona Love palette, the shade Trust. This one swatched very patchy and it's hard to blend out on the eyes. That one in the Pink Religion palette absolutely is not. It is a fantastic, fantastic formulation. One con that I do want to mention is that some of the shades do not apply to my eyes equally how they look in the pan. Especially the ones that are more watermelon and rosy tone, they still maintain that bubblegum pink. I'm just going to leave it at these are the most pigmented eyeshadows I have ever tried ever, and I have a very expansive collection, more makeup than I will ever use in my lifetime, but these are definitely the most pigmented ones I've ever tried. It's also quite amazing how easily they blend out on the eye paired to how pigmented they are. I'm sure most of you makeup lovers know that most shades, if they do have high pigmentation and the blendability is just not there, with this, it is a perfect formulation. I'm sure I'll reach for it now and again. Will it be my #1 most used Jeffree Star Cosmetics palette? Most likely no, but that's okay. I'm still happy to have it. I do think that of all the packaging that he's released, I'm not so much of a fan of the bulky packaging. This one is kind of bulky, but I still like it at the same time. It's confusing even for myself, but I do like it. Like, I feel like there was thought put into this. Like, there's nice embossment. It really does look like a book. I don't know if you guys can see because of my beauty lights, but this part right here was definitely designed to look like actual pages. You can see indentations just like you would if there were paper in here. But yeah, that's my final thoughts on the palette. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. And if you haven't already, I hope that you will like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know what you think about this palette. Did you purchase it? Are you going to purchase it? Or are you just thinking about it? Do you like pink eyeshadows on your eyes? What are your favorite colors? I want to know it all. And should you choose not to subscribe, know that our time together was special to me. And I'll have to go on, and you as well, never knowing what could have been. See ya.